Welcome to Being Humankind with your hosts Brian, Mike, and Neely. We explore what it means to be human in a time of disconnection.
Pam, if you could have lunch with anyone, living or not, who would it be?
I could have lunch with anyone. Probably my mom. Yeah, I miss my mom. It's been probably 27, 28 years. And yeah, I was adopted, but she's my mom. And I miss her, yeah, so probably her. I'd have lunch with her. I'd like her to see where everybody's at and what everybody's doing. I feel like I was blessed growing up having my grandparents. My grandparents didn't die till I was in my 30s. They were married 57 years. I was blessed with them because we went on vacations and we saw them a lot. I feel like my kids and my brother's kids have been robbed of grandparents because they died. Both of them died when our kids were young. My brother's kids weren't even born. So I feel like they've been robbed of grandparents. I find a lot of times me trying to fill that void with doing similar type things with them. But there's a lot of traditions that we grew up with that my kids don't even know existed. And that's a lot of society and generations right now that don't, I mean, society is at fault for a lot of it, for running 24/7 world and being open Saturdays and Sundays and not having any sacred family times anymore. Regardless of your religion or your belief or what you do. I mean, yeah, we always went to church every Sunday morning. You came home and had a big Sunday dinner, and it was a down day for everybody. And now society dictates everybody works. And so family meals are just not there that often. And that's sad. Um, the I mean, I had my two kids grow up with having family meals together, and now it's just basically me and Becky. And because the holidays and stuff, we still have them, but my kids don't know that when we were kids, we had a big meal on Father's Day, we had a big meal on Mother's Day, we had a big meal on every New Year's Day, Christmas. I mean, now we kind of skip over New Year's, but I mean, every Sunday there was the big meal. We had the big family gatherings, and I think society has robbed families of that. And I think if anything with COVID, it's hopefully opened up a lot of families' eyes. That's the one blessing I think of COVID, is that families have been forced to hopefully spend more time together and be. I rented a house up in New Hampshire for us last July, that all nine, my son, daughter, my niece and nephew, we all went up there in July. Yeah, we were quarantined, but we were all together and we had the time of our life. Like I took my kids camping for 13 years and it all reminded them of that time. But we were all in one house. Yeah, we went out on a few little adventures, but we were really, on hiking trails or very, I rented the same house for this summer again. And that was their Christmas present so that we can go back again and spend the time together, because I mean, like I said, if anything, COVID, that's brought that back out. I wish society would wake up and say, okay, let's bring back the blue laws, bring back, stop making the demands on people having to work to not have that family time, because the family time is valuable. And you look at it, my dad did work 2 and 3 jobs, but damn it all, even with the 2 or 3 jobs, we all sat together as a family at an earlier supper time, 4:30, and had dinner together before he went off to his second job. So we still had dinner every night, and there's very few families that do that anymore. I see it just because of the program I work in. We My program takes pride on, and now we can't do it because of COVID, but takes pride on serving family style meals. Um, we serve breakfast and lunch. And prior to this year, we always served, the children learned how to pass food around the table and say please and thank you and pour their own milk. And so it was served family style. It's not right now. But yeah, just to teach those skills. But like I said, my kids don't even know, that Mother's Day was a big day. I mean, when I grew up, Mother's Day was big. You went to see your grandmother in the nursing home. Your mother got brought flowers. You had a big dinner, and now it's just, and I can't. I I don't voice it because my kids don't know that was what happened. They didn't grow up that way. And it's to no fault of theirs. There was no family here to role model it. So my kids don't know that, so yeah, do I grow as an adult and I expect flowers and a nice home cooked meal on Mother's Day, Yeah. It's not the same anymore. And Jason has offered to take me out. I mean, it's not knocking him at all. He's going to watch this and say, hey,
He knows what to get you now.
I know, right? But he's offered to take me out to eat several times. But then you throw the dynamics of Becky and the handicap in on it, and a holiday, and going out to eat on Mother's Day, and what that would entail bringing her. It's much more peaceful to be at home having a meal together, or let me work out in my garden that day. I'm at much more peace out there digging in the dirt and cook me a hamburger on the grill. So yeah, it's changed. But yeah, I mean, he's offered to it. But you look back at the memories of how you were raised, and how really society has made that change. And if anything comes out of this COVID mess, I hope families end up relishing some of that time better.
I would say for sure. I mean, I went, from going out 5 to 6 nights a week with various projects and other things, and now I'm not.
Right. Yeah.
So it's great that we can do things through Zoom and other outlets like that, because I can come home, Jen and I can cook dinner, one of us will do it, and then we can sit and eat together.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
it sounds like such a simple thing, but it's so meaningful,
Exactly.
for our relationship.
Exactly. And like I said, even here the dynamics have changed. And like I said, I've been teaching preschool virtually, but I did a damn good job with it, and I'm proud of myself for how I did with it. And my program, I'd have other teachers wanting to join my class to see how I was doing it. And I think they knew it was successful because my attendance rate was so high. But we made the best of it, and I acknowledged each kid. And was it ideal? No, but we certainly did it and did well with it. And even going back this week, next week, I have intentions of, we have 2 kids that are not going to return yet because they're not ready to, that I'm still going to try and figure out a way to incorporate them, even though I'm back in the classroom. I've got to get it all set up still, but I intend on doing that, but yeah, it was this whole technology. I've learned a lot on technology, and I've learned how to create tabs and how to share tabs. And, so I've learned a lot. It's good. It's a good learning tool, but yeah, it definitely is a different world. And, that's where part of me says, oh, if we lived off grid, I wouldn't care either, because we still would have this connection. I think it's ideal for the families that are long distance, because the world today is much more long distance than it ever used to be. Families are much more spread out across the country, across the world. Jason's best friend, his sister, lives in Australia. She's now a resident of Australia. He was getting married a few weeks ago, and Jason was supposed to be in the wedding, and the wedding got cut down to 10 people. So now they're hoping to have a reenactment in June with all of us, but the sister from Australia couldn't even come. So she was zoomed in on it. So yeah, technology has definitely helped keep some of that connections. I think it's amazing. The hard part is not convincing everybody to embrace it. I've got an almost 80-year-old aunt that wants nothing to do with it. So, you got oh, come on, I'll get you this. I'll get you. No, I don't want it. So, but I'm like, it amazes us how on technology it is. But then Jason always preps us for when the technology is not there. We got to have our backup. So, the prepper part of it. So,